Thank you, Mr. Day. It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship, and thank you for calling me at the beginning. I agree with what the Speaker, the mover of the motion, has said so powerfully in her opening remarks, and thank you so much to the Honourable, where are my notes? My Honourable Member for Motherwell and Wishaw for bringing this debate, and others have made important points about the importance of post offices to local communities and town centres, and this is what I want to focus on. So in my constituency, after the tsunami of loss of post offices and post office counters following 2011, since 2017, from the 10 post office counters we had, no Crown Post Office, but from the 10 we had, we lost 3 in the last 3 years. But the one that's most important is the one that served Brentford High Street, a community that's doubled in the last 10 years and is now roughly 10 to 15,000 households. The post office counter was in a shop in the middle of the town centre where many buses pass. It served a very large population and a very large number of small businesses. And because the building and the parade that it was situated in was due to be redeveloped, and in fact has now subsequently been demolished, there was a 1-year notice period where we all knew that that building would have to be emptied out, and therefore the post office would no longer be able to remain in that premises. Now, and then it so happened that the post office, the postmaster, decided that he didn't want to carry on the business, and that in itself is an issue. Now, the good news is that 18 months after that post office counter closed and we had no service in the whole of Brentford at all, we are going to get a new counter at Cost Cutters on the High Street. But that means we've had, and that's in a couple of months, so we'll have had 18 months with no service, a service that so many feel is vital. Now, we could have avoided that gap. The post office knew that there would be the need to find a new premises and probably a new postmaster. So did the local authority, so did I as the MP, so did local councillors. Now, the post office sought applications. The first round, there were only 2 applicants from all the many businesses and organisations in Brentford that could have opened a counter. But there were only 2, and neither of them fitted the criteria. I think there was another application round, and I'm not sure whether Cost Cutter tipped over the bar in this round and was accepted, or whether there was even a 3rd round. Why are postmasters, why are people not applying for or not retaining counters? And the Honourable Member and others have already mentioned this. The margins are so slim, the pay is too low. The requirements to cover the post office counter by only a qualified person makes it very restrictive in terms of leave, sickness and so on. I don't know what's been mentioned. The increase in robberies and violence makes those sort of retail businesses quite physically risky anyway. And, of course, the Horizon project has damaged the reputational risk of the post office. And what is the post office doing about this? Because I understand that the post office has an element of a public service duty as a fully owned, government-owned company, which we all see provides essential public services.